Hi there. I made these paw prints a couple of days ago and was so pleased with how they came out. I thought I would just quickly show you a short tutorial on how to use these cutters. So I have this pink clay, it's Cernet translucent mixed with a tiny bit of Cernet fuchsia. It's some leftovers, but I thought I'd make something a little more interesting. So I'm just adding some silver metal leaf on one side, and then on the other side I'm spreading some white alcohol ink. It's just going to make a slightly more interesting pattern for these paws. So you need to leave that to dry before you handle it. I left it for about 20 minutes, but probably 10 minutes would have been fine. And what I'm going to do is just kind of roll it up into like a jelly roll. I had the gradient going the wrong way, so I ended up just layering it and then rolling it, just so that because I wanted the gradient to go from dark to light on this jelly roll. And then basically just squeeze it and reduce it a little bit, make sure I get all the air out of it before we start cutting it up. I'm going to put it on this small tile for baking, and yeah, that's cute. It's a little bit more interesting than just the plain pink, and it's a really good way to make use of leftovers, I think, of scraps. So basically just trying to cut them all similar thickness, and just kind of laying them all together, and then I'm going to smooth and flatten them. And I want this really quite smooth because I'm going to cut out my little pieces of paw prints, and so I'm using a piece of printer paper just to make sure that the top is really, really smooth. And then because I also want those little paw prints to be rounded, I'm using some plastic wrap to cut these out. Yeah, and I think that's probably about 3 millimeters thick. It'll make quite a nice rounded shape. The thicker it is, the more rounded it will be. But it's a little hard to push, so I use the acrylic block there. You can leave those little scrappy bits there when you bake them. Everything will just pull apart when you're done. So then we're going to bake those. For sure you could just do everything raw, but I just find for handling and pressing things together, it's just a little bit easier when they're baked. So I'm just taking these off and cleaning them up a little bit now that they're baked. This clay is champagne. It's Cernet champagne. I really like this color. It's a little bit thinner. It's about a number 2 on my atlas, which is probably 2.5 millimeters thick. It's just a little bit easier to press that I'm calling it a bezel cutter. And then once you've cut them out, you can just put your baked pieces in. This is why I baked them, because I tend to be a little bit cack-handed, and if they're baked, you can kind of manhandle them a bit more to get them into place. And you can see later on I start to use my craft knife to kind of help me position things and push them in. You could use a little bit of liquid clay here in those holes, just to kind of make sure that everything is baked together nicely. But I have actually found that these baked pieces, when you bake them on the raw clay, will actually stay really well stuck. And once we've got those all settled in there, we're going to bake that again. These are all baked now. So I'm just going to varnish the pink parts. I really like the look of the glossy pink parts against the kind of more matte champagne colored base. Just really like the look of that. Of course you could varnish the whole thing, but I just really like that. So I'm just going to varnish those pink parts. Because we had it really smooth when we cut them out, we don't really feel the need to sand these. Certainly the first set that I didn't sand. And there we are, all done. Yeah, really cute. I think you could probably use all kinds of different canes or different color combinations, blends. Anyway, hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.